And this is chapter 3, Justice for All, Stephen Hague by Master Flex. Same again. Hunter growled, rubbing a hand through his short, cropped brown hair. Another course was quickly forthcoming. The barman knew better than to question him when he was in this kind of mood. The joint was dimly lit, the lights way down low, giving the place a seedy sort of feeling, and an old style jukebox in the far corner was kicking out. Painted black by the stones, apart from Hunter, who was perched on a stool, there were a handful of other regulars dotted around, each of them busy keeping themselves to themselves. Tommy's bar needed to never, and it had drawn much of a crowd than like that one. Hunter sighed. An ever-growing collection of empty beer bottles sat on an oak counter in front of him. It was 10 p.m. and he was blind drunk, but the booze wasn't helping. The whole legal system was a joke. You put a guy like Montero on trial, and even though everyone knew he was guilty, he was gonna walk. Months of painstaking investigation, weeks in court, and for what? Nothing. Called that justice. All Hunter wanted was a little quality time with the Salvadorian in a windowless room. No witnesses, no judges, and best of all, no lawyers. Swift verdict, appropriate punishment, biblical, an eye for an eye, Montero life for the kids. He took another slug from his beer as a newcomer grabbed himself a spot at the bar to stool sit down. Whiskey, all Fitzgerald, leaves the bottle. The voice was gruff and commanding, as if its owner had issued countless commands over the years and had gotten used to more and most of them being obeyed. He knocked back the shot in a single gulp, replenishing his glass, then pushed the bottle along the counter. Care to join me? Why the hell not? Hunter turned to the stranger and nodded. The guy was pushing 60, with closely cropped salt and pepper hair that favored the salt, a weathered face with a slew of broken veins in his cheeks, and a steely blue gaze that grabbed your attention and refused to let go. His build was stocky, like that of a prize fighter, but it was hard to tell if he was in a good shape. Saddled as he was in a knee-length blue coat that had definitely seen better days. "The name's Carson," he began, gesturing at the empty tumbler. "Knock yourself out." Hunter poured himself a generous measure and gulped it down. The whiskey was smooth on the tongue, but it kicked like a mule once it hit the back of his throat. And while the slow band helped warm his guts, it did little to brighten his mood. "But there, rasped Carson, as he retrieved a pack of red pistachios from somewhere inside his coat. "The worst. So you were trial. Trial? Don't make me laugh. I've seen more due process as at lynching. Montero's gonna walk and he's guilty as hell. Christ, he admitted the whole damn thing to me. But will the court listen? Will they fuck? They'd rather had a kiddie rapist on the stand than a honest cop. Wait a minute. What were you doing at the trial? You're not a goddamn reporter, are you? Fuck that, I'm a cop. Outer robbery. Homicide division. Kesson. The name's kinda familiar. Didn't you have some trouble with the desk jockey over an IA a few months back? Yeah, wrongfully arrest beef. Forgot to get the right form signed before I passed into some pimp's pad to ask him about a dead hooker. Why are you doing it? What gonna do? He shrugged. You're a Zack Hunter, aren't you? I've been following your case for a while. All those dead kids? What a fucking tragedy. Master Bast, you upside down. And inside you, hey, tell me something. When you were betting on Montero, was the business or is it as a pleasure? Business, the little girl was still missing, murmured Hunter. Remember the interrogation that had cost him his job. I don't know what you're talking about. I ain't seen no little girl. I'm just a film director. Montero grinned from behind his walnut-top desk while gesturing to the multitude of skin filled steel that lined the wall of his office. We got bonds, we got the truck, and we got you. So you're gonna tell me where Julie Drama is, one way or another. Start cooperating. Make it easy on yourself. Montero extended his middle finger. Hunter's patience snapped. He didn't have time for this bullshit. He leaped across the desk and drew a right cross straight into the middle of a pornographer's face. Third, one broken nose, blood and snot gushed from the nose. Madaf. The cast went unfinished as Hunter's left hand closed around Montero's windpipe while his right fell from on a high to slam into the Salvadorian's mouth. His fist hammered down a further 3 times, opening up wounds to the lip, cheek, and temple before he lifted Montero out of his seat and hurled him against the rear wall. After a moment's pause, the Salvadorian slid to the floor where he cowered like a wiped dog. Where's Julie Dermo? Where's the girl? No response. He drew back his right boot and slammed it into Montero's ribs. A loud crack showing that at least one had been broken. Montero screamed and spat out 2 of his teeth significantly. Where's she? Hunter punctuated each word with other vicious kick. He lifted his boot and stepped down on the Salvadorian throat. Montero's bloodied face looked up at him, his eye bulging in fear, his veins turning brown as oxygen deprived set in and still. Hunter kept shouting, Where is she? So you beat the girl's location out of him? Call it in. Then drag his sorry ass straight over to the warehouse. Sounds like good police work to me. I would have played it the exact same way. Matter of fact, it reminded me of a time when I was back in DC trying to track down a stash house in the project. I snapped a street seller and pounded on his sorry ass till the words flowed out of his mouth quicker and blood. Took an hour and I damn near broke my left hand on this job, Carson said, cracking his knuckles. But it goddamn worked. Had the drugs impounded by sundown? You worked in DC for a while? Back in my younger days, before I moved out here. The old man nodded in response as he poured them both another generous shot of whiskey over in the corner. Sympathy for the devil faded out on the jukebox and under my thumb kicked in. I'm almost done too. Retirement's just around the corner, so my caseload's pretty light. Been on the force the best part of 30 years, and every damn day it gets a little bit harder. More red tape, more rights for the accused. What about the victim rights? We speak for them? We used to, but now they got us gagged, made us powerless. We are fighting our war on crime with the pure shooter, while the hoods are packing nothing but heavy artillery. And as for the lawyers, don't get me started on them. Hunter nodded glumly in agreement. Did you see Finch in there today? Making her way in the world by keeping A child killer like Montero on the street, and I bet it didn't even prick her conscience. Goddamn Drake. Lawyers like Finch are no better than the scam they represent. Her check's in the post. Montero's gonna work, and meantime, you're out of a job. What sort of a world are we living in? Bet you do things a little different if you had your time over. Bet you wish you dished out some real justice when you had the chance. Open it up! Hunter yelled at the cowering Montero. The two men were at the steelworks, standing on a raised walkway in front of padlocked door. A number of empty paintings and rotting cardboard boxes were dotted around their feet. I ain't got no key, croaked the Salvadorian. Bullshit. Hunter shoved his handcuffed prisoner to the floor, then hoisted him up by the earlobe. Montero gaggled rather than screamed, his larynx still feeling the after effects of being on the wrong end of the size 10 boot. Where's the damned key? Go fuck yourself. Hunter spun the Salvadorian around, grabbed the back of his jacket, then pushed him over the balustrade until the 40th floor drop to the floor below loomed large. Trust me, I'm not fooling around. The growing wail of siren began to penetrate the building's interior. Montero's face went scarlet as the blood rushed to his head. It is in that tin. It is in that paint tin by the door. In a move he'd later regret, Hunter pulled his captive back from the abyss and tossed him along the walkway. The lid to the paint tin came off easy. Inside, there were two stainless steel keys. The keys turned in the padlock and the door opened with a slight groan, as if disappointed to reveal its secret. A funnel of light spilled into the room, reaching just far enough to illuminate the foot of a stained mattress. Where at the goddamn light? Generator on your light. Terror was through holding out. Maybe the prospect of a long fall to a certain death had helped loosen his tongue. Hunter reached down and fumbled around in the shadows until he found the right switch. The machine buzzed to life, bathing the room in a harsh halogen glare of two industrial spotlights. The space was bare save for a digital video camera setting up on a tripod plus the dirty mattress. The naked body of a small girl lay on the mattress. Julie Denner, a sob caught in Hunter's throat. Time stood still for a second as a familiar feeling of helplessness washed over him. Then he broke his paralysis to rush over to the child and reach for a pulse. Her skin was cold to the touch. A track of fresh needle marks ran up her arms. He was later, and he was too late. He collapsed to his knees and began to sob in heaving bursts, and with each passing second his anger began to build. He knew what he had to be done. He drew his beretta and turned back towards the door. The sound of a large number of men running along the walkway bared register. He walked out to face the sniveling Monteros, released the safety and revealed his gun. No, please, no. Hunter's finger tightened on the trigger. A few more ounces of pressure were all that were needed. The faces of each of the 7 murdered children flashed through his mind, each one crying out for justice from beyond the grave. Running footsteps clattering to stop just behind him. The cavalry had a LAPD, lower your weapon. Put the gun down now. His trigger finger tensed. His whole arm started to shake. The sound of a weapon being cocked rang out. Stand down, Hunter. Stand down now. Damn straight. I should have blown that cocksucker out of his shoe back at the steelworks, ended his sorry life once and for all. But I was too slow. Hunter looked another slug from his beer. tell you one thing for free, though I've still got a bullet with his name on it, badge and no badge. Carson digested that statement without comment, holding Hunter's gaze for a full 30 seconds before dispensing 2 more shots of whiskey. And there's no chance that the prosecution, main witness, Bones, is gonna testify, he asked as he withdrew a credit card from his wallet and threw it down on a counter. Nope, I spoke to a friend at the DS office, and there's no way that sack of shit is going to change his mind over the weekend. He just keeps saying he's got a family to protect. Montero must have got to him, threatened his wife and kids without his testimony was sunk. The whole case is short. Tough break, said Carson, downing his shot. When the barman brought over the check, he signed it and it with a flourish, then rose to his feet. Been good talking to you, but my empty home awaits and a world to the wise. He lowered his voice. When it comes to Montero, do what you gotta do. With that, he turned and was gone. Alone at the bar once again, Hunter buzzed and brain continued to buzz. Moving on with his life wasn't an option. There was no way he was just gonna wipe the slate clean and forget about the past. 7 kings were dead, and the blood was on Montero's hand. It wasn't over. The so-called justice system might have blown its chance, but Montero was going to pay one way or another. Hunter was damn sure of that.